down her bridal glam. Starting off skin prep, getting her face nice and hydrated with the Avene Thermal Spring Water, and then I'm going in with Embryolisse Late Cream Concentrate and really massaging that into her skin. I applied a really nice layer of this to let soak in while I do her eyes. Her brows were pretty perfect as is, so I just brushed them up into place, and then I went in with Tarte Shape Tape to carve out the bottom. Now please pay attention to her chest and not the undertone of her face. We are overall matching her chest, which does have a warm fake tan to it, so that's why I'm prepping her eyes with a warmer shade of concealer. So once that's all smoothed over, I go in with my go-to bridal palette. It's a bunch of P. Louise eyeshadows depotted. Let me know if you'd like a breakdown on that palette. I'm happy to share what palettes they are. I initially went in with this caramelly shade to start the blend, and then I wanted more blushy tone, so I went in with my blush palette. These are depotted Patrick Tar blushes. I went in with She's a Doll and Do We Know Her. Then back in with my bridal palette, I went in with a nice creamy nude just to set the rest of the eyelid in place. For Jade's eye look, we went in with a nice neutral matte eye. It is a bit more glam than we did for the trial, and I think it suited her perfectly. Then taking Missguided Beauty's Slick Flick Gel Pencil in Double Espresso, and what I'm doing here is drawing really close to her lash line and even tight lighting that outer corner, just so I can get that lash line really nice and deep, and then I'm going in with a dark brown eyeshadow to set it all in place and smudge it out the slightest bit. Then with what's left over on the brush, I'll just take that in the inner third of her eye to finish off that lash line smoke. Then taking a nice warm brown shade and diffusing that outer corner even further. I take that from the outer corner and across the lash line. This just creates a nice blend and makes everything look really seamless. Now it's time for mascara. When you've got lashes like Jade's, when they're thick, they're long, they're full, I think it's beneficial to put mascara on before you do individuals. Sometimes when your bride doesn't have the best lashes, it's easier to just do the lashes first and then coat with mascara. But when your bride's got something to work with, coat those bad boys and then see where you need to fill in the gaps. Now everything was completely dry before I went in with a quick curl. I did this extremely lightly. This just clamped everything in together, but please make sure that mascara is completely dry. I wiped away that fallout, and then I'm going back in with the Embryolisse Late Cream Concentrate to re-prime, and then going in with Milk Hydro Grip to get that base nice and tacky. For Jade's bridal look, I did underpaint, so I'm going in with the Huda Beauty Tan Tour in the shade Light, and I'm popping that in all of her bronzy spots. I'm not so much contouring, I'm kind of just popping it where I want to add a bit of warmth underneath her foundation. Here's where we're going to sculpt, so I'm just taking the Tarte Shape Tape and Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer mixed together, and I'm popping that in all the spots that I think either need the coverage or I want to further sculpt, if that makes sense. Join me for part 2 to see how this look turned out. It was perfect.